Okay, here we go. Here we go.
Okay.
All right, just a second. Okay, here we go. Right, here we are. Hello. Can somebody please, guys? Can you just say hello so we can check the audio?
Hello.
Hello, everyone.
Can you hear? Can everyone hear everyone? Can somebody just
Yep.
confirm?
Yep.
Yeah.
Just waiting for the audience to
All right, so
confirm.
you'll be able to hear us, yeah. Okay.
We have a few people tuned in, so that's nice.
Excellent.
Thank you for joining us. Oh yeah, it seems like we're okay audio-wise.
Good.
First of all, well, I'm Brian Waters from the QTube, as probably everyone knows by now. Thank you for joining us. We're going to try and crack on, but first of all, I want to just apologise for being slightly late. We've had some small issues getting Brian's lovely keyboard sounding nice, so we may or may not use that during the live stream. It's really nice when Brian can illustrate points on the keyboard, but it's not. It doesn't seem to be the most straightforward thing to set up with Zoom. But we'll have a play with it before the next one and try and get this all sorted. We thought we had it sorted, but you know we've come back to it today, and it's not sounding that great. Anyway, first of all, we probably do have some newcomers. Let's hope that we do, because that's always nice. So can I ask my two lovely guests, Brian and Stefan, to just briefly reintroduce yourselves? Brian, do you want to go first?
Yeah, my name is Brian Morrell, and I work at Leeds Conservatoire, where I wrote the film music degree, and I ran that degree from it starting about 6 or 7 years ago, and I'm now the deputy head of that college, a part of the college, and I actually teach on the film music degree. I teach harmony and orchestration and composition.
Lovely, thank you. Stefan?
Hi, I'm Stefan Gordon. I principal lecturer at Leeds Conservatoire. I work on the film music course with Brian. Worked with Brian, helping to sort of develop certain aspects of the film music pathway. So I do the kind of film theory side of things, looking at what a director does, and understanding film language and that side of things, as well as looking at sort of production and a little bit of composition as well.
Lovely, thank you. So thank you again. So this is a monthly thing that we're doing now. So yeah, Stefan, you're a little bit quiet. If there's anything you can do to increase your microphone, that would be good.
Yeah, I can. Let me just sort that out.
Even for me, it's a little bit quiet, and somebody else is saying as well.
Okay.
Or just shout.
I'll try not. Is that any better?
Yeah, that's much better. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So obviously I'm Brian from the QTube, and what we do every month is we release a new clip for composers and indeed sound designers to download and play with and use for practice and portfolio and education and everything else. And then a month later, which is where we are today, we get together with the three of us and we listen to some of your rescores, and we give a little bit of, hopefully helpful feedback. And I think that the feedback is helpful not only for the person that we are reviewing, as it were, but for anybody who's interested really in film music. And we often go a little bit off-piste as well and talk about some general points. So it's not just about the specifics of the scores that we listen to, but we can also touch on some really useful general observations. And we will be doing that a little bit today, actually, later on. So yeah, привет, Octavian. Yeah, I think we need to crack on, really, don't we? So you guys have prepared a little list, haven't you, of the scores that you would like to discuss. So which one are we doing first?
We've picked out, obviously, sort of time-wise, we don't get through, and we don't get through absolutely loads of them, but we've picked out quite a few. So I thought we'd sort of see how we get on, and then we'll probably do some honourable mentions at the end for people we couldn't fit in. So we're going to start with John Gonzalez. Just to sort of say before I show the first one is just to sort of say how good some of the work was in general. Same as last time. I thought overall the submissions were really strong. I think what I really enjoyed about this one, I mean, it was an interesting clip, which I'm sure we'll get into as we go. But how the different approaches of this in the submissions sort of changed the dynamic of it. And obviously sort of doing something like a commercial is, I mean, none of this is easy, but I think commercials are particularly tricky to get right because talking about being really accurate in this sort of execution of the musical ideas to make it work, which obviously goes with all areas of the production, including the editing and all the rest of it. And also about, when it comes to commercials, about keeping the client happy. So something we'll talk about as we go. So yeah, let's start with John Gonzalez. Was there anything else you wanted to add, Brian, before I kick off?
No, I'm fine.
Yeah, okay. Let me fire up the first one. Right. Okay. Let me know that this is all sounding okay, that you can see and hear it.
I can see it.
Can't hear anything.
I can't hear anything at the moment.
You can't hear anything. Okay, let me come out of there for a sec. Can you hear that?
Nope.
Can you hear that?
No.
Nope.
No?
No.
That's strange, because it does say share sound. Let me...
Hello, Sally.
Does that still not work?
Let's have a look.
Sound-wise? No?
No.
Do you...
It's one of those days.
It is one of
It
those
is.
days.
Oh yeah, what's that? Oh, that's a keyboard, was it?
That was me just playing, yeah.
Just getting bored.
No, I'm just checking if we got
Still no
sound.
sound?
No sound, no. I mean, not from your end, though.
But you can see it, can you?
No, we can only see... No, we couldn't even see it then.
Oh, it is one of those days, isn't it?
Bloody
Right.
hell.
So the only other thing we can do, right,
Gremlins are in
is...
today.
Would you be able to, because I've made you co-host, Brian, QG Brian. Would you be able to?
Christ. Okay. Nothing like putting me on the spot. Hang on.
Because it's playing here. Fine.
Yeah. Right.
I'll tell you what. I'll try one other way. Just give me a sec. Let me just give me 1 second.
So it's John Gonzalez that you want to play first.
It is, yeah. But right, I've got one other way to do this. Just bear with me.
Welcome to Perfection by
Let me see if I can do it then. Where are we? Okay, 1 sec. Okay, I might be able to do it from my end. I need people to let me know if they can hear this, basically.
Design. We believe beauty isn't just skin deep,
I could
it's
try and share
engineered.
from my end. I've got the videos up if you want.
Can somebody in the audience please let me know if you could hear that when I played it just now? Sally's saying yes. I presume that's a yes to my question. Yeah, I really want to apologise to everyone that's tuned in. We're just having one of those evenings with technology.
Problems, yeah.
So it's audible. Okay, I can play it from here, Stefan.
Can you? Okay.
It seems that way. Yeah. So let me just try to get the screen display sorted because it looks ridiculous at the moment.
So we won't be able to hear it, will we? So what I think we should do.
You won't. That's right.
No, but we'll just have to work on our notes, Brian.
You've got your notes.
Yeah, that's
haven't
cool.
you?
That's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
And I've got the video here as anyway.
Yeah.
You've got your notes. So I just need to play it for the audience and let you know when it's finished, basically. Yeah.
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 All right. Here we go. So this. Oh, this is Di Price. Sorry. I apologise.
John Gonzalez, yeah.
Yeah. Apologies. The bloody.
Welcome to the future of beauty. Welcome to Perfection by Design. We believe beauty isn't just skin deep, it's engineered. Using the latest advancements in bioengineering, nanotechnology, and AI, our products don't just enhance your appearance, they redefine it. Our process begins with a comprehensive scan of your DNA and facial structure. We then customize our products to enhance your unique features, ensuring that every detail is perfected. Say goodbye to imperfections. Say hello to your ideal self. There is a perfect you that is fighting to come out. Perfection by Design, where your beauty is our masterpiece.
Okay, an extremely long note at the end there. Okay, that's finished playing now.
Can I just check that? Can you hear that at all?
Oh, it's
No.
And see it? No.
Can see it but can't hear it.
So Brian, did you just play it to
I
the
just played it for the
members?
audience.
And they can definitely hear it.
Yeah.
Great. Okay. Well, should I go first then, Steph?
Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
Okay. Again, like Brian said, apologies for all the
Technical issues.
tech cock-ups tonight. It's been one of those nights. Basically, like Steph said at the beginning, there's some really good stuff. Again, for the fourth time in a row, there's some great stuff. This is John Gonzalez, and I thought this was a really nice kind of what I would call a light jazz score. Some absolutely beautiful chord sequences. And again, I know earlier on we had some issues with the piano sounds. In my studio here, it sounds great, but I don't know what it sounds like when you can hear that. But the chords were really nice. You had some lovely kind of chords where it was going like the A minor over the G, G major 7, A minor over G, G major 9. Some really, really nice little chord sequences. And also, most of it, for the most part, none of it intruded with the picture or the narrative or the dialogue. And this was really because a lot of the textures were quite digestible. They were easy to listen to. Electric piano with a bit of pad sounds and stuff like that. Possibly the only critique would be that possibly you could have gone away from those chords. You know those 4 chords I mentioned where you're going, and then you maybe could have gone to the relative minor or something like that. But I just think it was a really, really nice way, and it was a really nice kind of cool jazz vibe. So well done, excellent. I think it worked really well, and it wasn't an easy one to do. This one, these short little things like this are never easy. They might be shorter, but they're never easy. So well done.
Yeah, to follow on, I also thought it worked really well. I thought the sort of feel of it was really nice, and I thought that the overall vision of it was really good. The tempo I thought was sort of really nicely sort of judged in terms of how it sort of worked with the energy of the piece as well. I thought my only sort of slight sort of hesitance with it was that I thought perhaps because it is a short piece that there was kind of maybe a few too many ideas in it. That might be just me, because it sort of went from like the electric piano to then a more sort of synth-based idea, and I thought perhaps that would be my sort of, for a short piece, that maybe was a little bit distracting. having said that, I thought it was very well kind of constructed as a sort of piece, an overall piece. And it's a great energy as well. But yeah, perhaps just a little bit of too many ideas, but well done. As Brian says, I think the actual musical sort of landscape of it was really well done. So good stuff.
Brian, can I just ask you a quick question? Did you hear a slight rumbling when Steph was talking at all?
Not especially. I didn't notice it. No.
Oh, okay, no worries. Yeah, okay.
Am I loud enough now?
No, you're loud enough. It's just when you were talking, there was a slight rumbling. But I don't want to add to the already brilliant tech problems we've had tonight.
They're saying Stefan again is still a little bit quiet. Somebody say your mic.
My mic's quiet. Okay.
It was loud and then it went quiet again.
Let me.
I mean, it's not bad, but I think a little bit louder would be good.
Okay.
So I can prepare. Which one are we doing next?
Right. Let's go with. Is it? Yeah, it's Killian Pavlik.
Killian Pavlik. Yeah.
Killian Pavlik.
I've changed my microphone, so let me know if that's any better.
Killian Pavlik.
I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay.
So I'm busy.
Welcome to the future.
I'm busy with Killian. Right. Okay, so I'm about to play Killian's. Apparently, oh, this is so confusing. All these messages flying in as well. Don't ask me any questions, guys, please. Right. So I'm going to play it. You guys can't hear it, but the audience can hear it. I'll let you know when it's finished. Yeah. But I think your microphones will still be on. So obviously, try not to make any strange noises. And yeah, Sally mentioned that when I played the last one, it was a bit too loud. So this time I think I've turned it down. So hopefully it will be okay. So let's try this one and see how it goes. What a good evening we're having here.
Welcome to the future of beauty. Welcome to Perfection by Design. We believe beauty isn't just skin deep, it's engineered. Using the latest advancements in bioengineering, nanotechnology, and AI, our products don't just enhance your appearance, they redefine it.
Thanks to Perfection by Design, I can finally be the real me.
Our process begins with a comprehensive scan of your DNA and facial structure. We then customize our products to enhance your unique features, ensuring that every detail is perfected. Say goodbye to imperfections. Say hello to your ideal self. There is a perfect you that is fighting to come out. Perfection by Design, where your beauty is our masterpiece. Side effects may include loss of individuality, emotional numbness, and existential crisis. Use at your own risk.
Okay, another big, long, lingering chord at the end there. Right, that is played. That has been played.
Right.
So, yeah,
Okay.
right.
I'll go first then, if that's all right. Again, I thought this was a really good piece. Some really nice contemporary sounds and textures. Great rhythmic piece as well, with some really interesting kind of sporadic piano. It had this overall kind of F minor kind of vibe all the way through it, but mainly thanks to different kind of lines that were being played. It might have benefited from a kind of overarching melodic line through it, a kind of really kind of basic one that would allow the dialogue to breathe. But the overarching F minor feel was definitely really nice. There's a thing going on there which we in the business we call a horizontal harmony, which is where you are suggesting a chord not by actually playing it, by playing the F minor, but by actually playing loads of lines that basically equal that. But there was some really nice really nice textures there and really nice sounds and stuff like that. So yeah, again, well done, excellent. Stefan.
I can't hear you at all now.
I've got that was me muted. Right, I thought this was great. Actually, I really like this piece. I thought that it was again really strong vision. Just reading through my notes, really well executed, and provided a backdrop that was needed for the piece. Was what I sort of noted down. I thought the production was really good, and it sort of provided the energy and the drama that was needed for it. There was little touches like extra sort of reverb on some of the sort of synth snare drum hits that I felt sort of really created an energy for this. And also there was sort of listening to some, because I'm a sort of big fan of like electronic music, and I thought I could hear some like sort of squelchy sort of 303 bass lines sort of within it, which I also sort of gave a really sort of nice nod to sort of electronic music, and sort of this sort of the whole sort of texture and structure of it was really well done, including some quite dramatic synth pads that were placed within it, just giving the general feeling of it being somebody that sort of knew what they were doing with this. So I think maybe that, you know, thinking about what I said at the beginning about commercials and sort of keeping the client happy, whoever that might be, that maybe there's a slight alteration in some of the elements to it, like the overall volume, and perhaps a removal of one or two layers, because there might have been just too much going on. But great work all round, actually, I thought, on this one. So really good.
I think the client in this case is Elon Musk, by the way.
Brilliant.
In that case,
Yeah.
We've got to keep him happy. Otherwise he'll destroy us all. Okay, so which one are we doing next?
Sally Whittam Shaw.
Excellent. Sally is a regular with us, so she'll be delighted. I think we have reviewed one of Sally's before.
Is Sally online with us?
She is, she's with us.
Brilliant.
Sally is among us.
She's experiencing our technical nightmares.
Sorry, these technical issues are getting to my head. I'm getting a little bit delirious here. Right. I'm gonna play Sally's Perfection by Design. Here we go.
Welcome to the future of beauty. Welcome to Perfection by Design. We believe beauty isn't just skin deep, it's engineered. Using the latest advancements in bioengineering, nanotechnology, and AI, our products don't just enhance your appearance, they redefine it.
Thanks to Perfection by Design, I can finally be the real me.
Our process begins with a comprehensive scan of your DNA and facial structure. We then customize our products to enhance your unique features, ensuring that every detail is perfected. Say goodbye to imperfections. Say hello to your ideal self. There is a perfect you that is fighting to come out. Perfection by Design, where your beauty is our masterpiece.
And there it is, another great long tail at the end. Right, that has played.
Great. Again, I thought this was really good. This had more of an obvious rhythm and a beat behind it than possibly we've had so far. But it was really good that, and again, I don't know if this is accidental or this is deliberate. I am presuming it's deliberate, actually. There were certain words that were spoken that were actually timed to fall on certain beats, and that was just fabulous. I mean, that was just really, really good. Kind of took my breath away, actually. I don't think that kind of been an accident. And I think it just really worked really well. It was probably a little bit busy later on, a little bit maybe too busy for the video. You know, sometimes you have to be careful not to go too far. But some great use of contemporary textures and some really nice, quite simplistic chord sequences, which gave it a kind of really nice dreamy feel. I think it was basically based on a kind of E chord, and when I was playing around with that, I was found myself filling over that E chord, just like, I don't know, something like, just something a bit like that, just to fill it out and just to give it a little bit of an edge.
She's confirmed it was deliberate.
I thought it would be. I mean, there's no way that's accidental. It'd have to be a 1 in a billion for that to be accidental. So that was absolutely spectacular. It's the first time I've ever heard that, where it's a narration, but somebody has actually done it so that it actually just lands. It was just effortless. So really, really well done. Really well. And like I say, the only thing is maybe on maybe on an electric piano or something, you could have had a little bit more kind of like messing around on that, just to give it a bit of a kick. But great piece. Well done.
Lovely.
Yes, well, really well done. What I liked was how really positive it was. Actually, there was a real positive vibe to this piece, and I thought, which was great. And I thought all the textures were great, and the control of the samples also. And I wrote down, whilst the aim was sort of just keep the piece upbeat, it did tend to overpower in places. I think that was my sort of maybe a bit of criticism. So it just needed to pull back, and that was the end for me. The end. So when it was summing up, when the voice was summing up the pitch for the product, the voice and the images, but particularly the voice is using sort of natural punctuation, and I thought the music probably needed to follow that a little bit more, so just to be tighter around that voice. And we're talking about who's the client here, so to me it was like, and I think each piece you've said, Brian, as you've played it, so it hangs long notes hanging over, so you're the client basically, because what was happening was they were punctuating your logo rather than the actual commercial logo. So I was that final title, Perfection by Design. This is where I noticed it with Tony's, was like, that would have been really good to just punctuate it there and then slightly bleed over to your logo. But it was, I thought there were some really, really strong ideas in this, and I thought the positive and upbeat sort of vision to it was great. Just a little bit tighter in places and needed that bit more shape, but particularly listening to natural rhythms within voiceover, just to sort of hit the marks, I suppose. But great, really well done, Sally.
I mean, we were chatting earlier, and where's that police siren coming from?
Oh,
it's got to be London.
No,
it's got to be Stefan.
I live in South London, so you just flying.
Brilliant.
So we were talking earlier, and there's some really interesting points to be made here with regard to this clip, and with regard to the general relationship that the composers have with these clips, if you like, by virtue of the fact that they come from us. And so they're not real world jobs, if you like. And so that creates a little bit of an interesting situation, which has only really revealed itself with this clip. It's the first time that it's really come to our attention, and we're going to come on to that. I guess we're going to do that towards the end when we've fed back on a few more. But a couple of times now you've mentioned like who's the client, and I think this is something really interesting for us to explore and something for the composers to think about, I think, for future clips. So stick with us, and we're also going to have a prize giveaway as well, as we always do, from Fracture Sounds. So it's definitely worth hanging on, even if you've either been reviewed already or perhaps you've given up hope of being reviewed. It's still definitely worth sticking with us. So we've done 30 minutes so far. Let's try and get at least another 2 done, shall we? What do you think?
Yeah, I've got 2 more lined up as well. Yeah.
Which one have we queued up next?
Let's go for Matt Whitby, if possible, please.
Matt Whitby. And he's going to be delighted, I'm sure. He's another regular with us on our live streams. And
Is Matt with us?
I presume he's with us, because he always is. But today, probably sod's law, the day we actually review him is the day that he's not here.
Days of technical nightmares. He's decided.
Yeah. He's decided that we're no hopers.
Absolutely, yeah.
There's no point watching these clowns. But he'll be able to review it retrospectively anyway. So along with all the Americans. So, because he's based somewhere, I think he's based somewhere up north, and I think Sally is as well. So they're all local to you guys, really.
Excellent.
You should have a gathering.
Yeah, come
so
and see us.
I will play Matt's now.
Welcome to the future of beauty. Welcome to perfection by design. We believe beauty isn't just skin deep, it's engineered. Using the latest advancements in bioengineering, nanotechnology, and AI, our products don't just enhance your appearance, they redefine it.
Thanks to perfection by design, I can finally be the real me.
Our process begins with a comprehensive scan of your DNA and facial structure. We then customize our products to enhance your unique features, ensuring that every detail is perfected. Say goodbye to imperfections. Say hello to your ideal self. There is a perfect you that is fighting to come out. Perfection by design, where your beauty is our masterpiece. Side effects may include loss of individuality, emotional numbness, and existential crisis. Use at your own risk.
Great. Okay.
Sorry, my microphone was muted there. Yeah, I was just saying that I felt transported at the end by that motif to a different time and place. That was great. So, yeah, over to you guys.
Great. This is Matt Whitby. Again, I mean, like the rest, I mean, a good, really good piece. Had a really nice chord trick as well, the F to the C minor, which is just like always a really, really good, hopeful kind of like little chord trick. Interesting melody, but I thought with this one, the melody was far too upfront and prominent. Nice melody. If this was just a piece of music, then great, brilliant. But because it's accompanying video and obviously worse still, it's accompanying dialogue and off-screen narrated dialogue. The melody can be quite distracting to the point where you're torn between concentrating on the melody or the woman's words. Listeners can't really do both. It's an interesting, slightly off on one, but I mean, a major factor of when people listen to music and when they enjoy music is what we call unconscious analysis. The only reason people really love music and enjoy it is because they get something from it, and that is because they're actually unconsciously analyzing it when they're hearing it. So we listen, we absorb, and we try and make sense of music. Then it's written to be consumed and understood, obviously. Now, the thing with this music is it's accompanying an image and talking. So the thing here is to make sure that the eventual package, the final finished product, is the one that looks great and sounds great. So the music was great, but it was just too prominent in this, the melody in particular. So all I'd say is tone down the melody a little bit, get some softer sounds in there, and you'll be winning. Great. Over to you, Steph.
Yeah, no, I think Brian's covered most of it. I think that's sort of disrupted it a little bit. But I mean, I liked in some ways. I like the sounds were great. I thought the sounds were really great actually. I thought that kind of like I'll describe it as a sort of Moog synth sound. I don't know exactly what it was, but that was the vibe, and I thought that was really effective because it was kind of that continuous idea as well. I suppose my theme of the evening is what does the client want, which we can get onto. But I thought that thinking about this, that for the client maybe there was more, they would want more energy in it in terms of regard to sort of promoting the product. So that Moog synth sound is going to create a sort of mood really and a darker tone. And yes, in some ways, but it sort of would maybe change the dynamic of it, and it sort of changed the energy and in the way that the picture works with the editing. But then, you think about this sort of subject matter
as in when they mentioned AI and all that kind of that kind of stuff in there, then actually he was quite possibly on the right lines. But I thought, if you were talking about trying to sort of get a product to connect with the audience, like maybe it's just that a bit too moody. But I thought sound wise and production wise, I thought some really, really nice stuff, and again, well executed. But maybe just like as Brian said, sort of disrupted the flow of it with some melodic sort of elements to it. But well done to Matt.
Yeah, I mean, this all of these points are sort of leading so much towards this point that we want to make at the end, and I'm really fighting myself not to just blurt it out.
Well, I think it might be revealed.
The next one.
The next piece is the decider on this.
That would be the moment to reveal it, really.
Well, it's because I think the next piece is just really interesting how the approach to it.
Yeah.
In relation to this debate that we've got going.
Yeah. I mean, it's not a debate, is it? I mean, it's just that, I think one of the things here is that without spoiling this reveal, but that everyone that's involved here, from the audience, which is the composers, to you guys reviewing it, and then me as the kind of creator, effectively, the client, as close as we've got really to the client, we're all approaching it blind in a sense, and we've all come to it with a slightly different idea. So we'll come to that. Now, I just want to say before we do the next one that Killian and Sally have both expressed their gratitude for your, generosity and feedback and everything. So thank you, guys.
Right, there was some great submissions all around. I thought for this, and it's not easy to do.
It's not easy to do, no, definitely. So who was next? Who's
Dallas.
Aha, okay. Yeah. Dallas, here we go.
Welcome.
Is Dallas with us?
I haven't seen him. No, I don't think I've seen him in the chat, but he may be in Dallas, so he's in a different time zone. I don't know.
Yeah.
But no doubt he will come back to us. I did leave a comment on his video, and he's not responded, so he's probably in a different time zone.
Okay.
But anyway, it's all good stuff, so I shall play that forthwith.
Okay.
Welcome to the future of beauty. Welcome to Perfection by Design. We believe beauty isn't just skin deep, it's engineered. Using the latest advancements in bioengineering, nanotechnology, and AI, our products don't just enhance your appearance, they redefine it.
Thanks to Perfection by Design, I can finally be the real me, be the real me.
Our process begins with a comprehensive scan of your DNA and facial structure. We then customize products to enhance your unique features,
ensuring that every detail is perfected.
Say goodbye to imperfections.
Say hello to your ideal self.
There is a perfect you
That is fighting to come out.
Perfection by Design, where your beauty is our masterpiece.
Side effects may include loss of individuality, emotional numbness, and existential crisis. Use at your own risk.
A wild ride with Dallas.
Right.
Okay.
So this, like Brian has already alluded to, this was a strange one because when I started looking at this, it was a bit of a departure from the other music, which were most of the scores were kind of dreamy and really worked really well, for the subject matter. What I wrote for this one was that it waited for a fraction too long to come in until she said "Welcome to the future of beauty." I think there should have been some musical preamble to that. The arpeggiations that have been used and other factors have turned it into a kind of modern, what I would call a modern kind of sci-fi dystopian epic, where the world is run by mad scientists and stuff like that. And I thought, wow. And then when we talked later, am I right to say this, Brian?
Go on.
Yeah. Well, and I talked to Brian later, and we were saying, wow, this one was a bit left field. It was a bit out there. It then came to light that the brief, as it were, had to use the word dystopian in it. So in actual fact, this one probably nailed it. Initially, I thought, what's this person up to? But in actual fact, it worked really well for what apparently was what was needed. But the thing is, so did the rest, because if this really was a dystopian future advert, where the whole country and the whole world essentially is just led by the nose by corporations, in every movie I've ever seen where that world exists, the on-screen music, I don't mean the film music, I mean the actual music within the film itself, has always got this hypnotic, dreamy feel, because that's how they portray people being essentially controlled in the future, just by being fed reality TV and nice music. So in actual fact, the other soundtracks worked as well, but this one was the most obviously dystopian. So I thought it was great. It's great, and apparently it was on message as well. So there you go. Stefan.
Yeah, right. So, I mean, this was really interesting, because as Brian just said, when I got to this, I was like, wow, this was taking it in a completely different direction, which I sort of kind of missed, really. And then obviously we talked later, and Brian said it was dystopian. That was kind of the part of the brief, but then it got into this thing about, well, it's open to interpretation, it's open to however people want to do it, and their own approach to it, which is really interesting, because and this is what's great about this, is that everyone's got their own vision on stuff, and it's their own, of course, it's got their own personality stamped on it. This one did jump out at me, just because I thought it was really inventive, do it, and obviously I didn't know about the dystopian thing, but I thought it was quite inspired. I mean, it sort of captured my imagination, because it's got elements in there that I really like the arpeggiated synth stuff was great, and the way that the alteration of the voices, he sort of took the voices and did stuff with them. I was really creative with the voices as well. I thought that was quite inspired. And I wrote down, I'd love to see the face of the client when you presented this to them, imagining that this was not what they wanted, but actually turns out it was what they wanted. But it turned it into as Brian said, a sci-fi. I got a horror movie. I had noted down everything from John Carpenter to an artist called Disaster Piece, who'd done the score for It Follows. That really sprang to mind, and I thought it was great to see somebody sort of really stretch the idea, and then sort of came up with this vision, and sort of they thought, where can this take me? And it took them down this road, which I thought was really, really good. It was just because it was very different to some of the others. I was like, oh wow, they've on a completely different direction, and which was what we ended up talking about earlier. But I thought it was great. I thought it was really well done.
I thought it it was a really interesting discussion we had earlier, and I hope that we can kind of almost repeat it, or at least convey the essence of it, because I think it's quite valuable. Do you want to do the honourable mentions, and then we'll do the kind of reveal?
Yeah, so I noted down Jeff Bird, actually. So with Jeff,
I've got that one. Oh, yeah, sorry, I have, yeah.
So with Jeff, because a lot of this was based in a sort of electronic music, Jeff went down in sort of orchestral routes, which again was, I thought, like Dallas. I mean, it wasn't it was different to Dallas's, obviously, but it just came up with his own vision for it, one that I wouldn't have imagined working, actually. And I thought that was really well executed. Not sure how the client would have felt again of something like that, to go that orchestral, but I thought it was good. Is there anything you want to add on Jeff's?
Yeah, just a bit, obviously, because I thought we might get this far. I mean, I thought it was a really nice approach. I mean, I thought the orchestral introduction was beautiful, and there were some really nice chord maneuvers. I think around 24 seconds it went to electric piano, which was a really nice vibe. But the only downside, I think, because it started off orchestrally, it then went to this electric piano, then it went back to the orchestra later. I thought maybe it tried to slightly cram too many musical worlds into what was a short film. But the orchestra one was nailed really well. I mean, really well done. But just overall, a little bit bitty. Maybe if he'd have stuck with one, one main approach, essentially because it was a very short film. But the orchestra thing, really well done.
The other honourable mentions was Alejandro Paris as well.
Yeah, he's with us actually.
Oh, okay. Some great synth sounds in this, and the control of the audio and the samples was well done. I thought the start was really well done. Down the punctuation of the music at the start was really good. It reminded me of New Order. I thought in places. But my only downside was that there was a little bit of issue with too many textual layers. Maybe less is more here for me.
Yeah. I'd actually put something similar. I thought there's some really interesting, which I've put trippy sounds. That's just probably showing my age. But some really, really cool sounds. And I put that it was a little bit bitty, and there were too many small sonic fragments, and they just needed to be a bit more cohesive with with some actual chords in the middle. But really, really well done. I mean, really inventive. Yeah.
And the last one of honourable mention was Lorenz.
Lorenz.
Okay.
I put that this was a really good piece. The textures and the tones sit comfortably with the commercial. I said with certain sections, I think it was on the screen, came up as the character of Anna around 23 seconds. I said maybe hold back a bit with the drum machine or beats and stuff to just allow space for the voice. But I said the drop was great. The detune section I thought it was creatively interesting, but I thought it maybe disrupted the flow a little bit for me. But I thought it was a strong idea, but it was a bit risky.
I put something. I also put that step about the sudden pitch shift was very, 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 very good musically and very out there, but in context of the music needing to be subservient to the picture. Always remember that. At the end of the day, the music needs to be subservient to picture, which is why a lot of people leave the music film writing profession, because they want to be, composers in their own right, and they don't want to be subservient to the film. But great musically, I thought there was this idea. I don't know if you can hear that. Can you hear that? Yeah. And there's this lovely thing where they got this line, and then it's same line. It's the same line over two different chord sequences. Really, really, really nice. The rhythm comes in at, I think, 22 seconds, and there's this really high synth vocal kind of sound right at the top. Really good. The only downside was the detuned thing at 49, which I'm not entirely sure worked with the film. That was all.
Well, well done to everyone who submitted.
Oh, yeah.
Well done. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, for me, running the QTube and also create, Archie and I create these clips, and obviously when we do so, we've no idea what people are going to do with it, and so it's really lovely. I really enjoy listening to these pieces, and I really appreciate everybody submitting for these sessions. I think it's great for everybody. I know that Brian and Stefan, you enjoy these sessions.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And they get a good number of views, and hopefully the momentum will grow. So
how many have we got tonight, Brian? Sorry, how many have we got?
So we don't usually get that many live. It's usually builds up afterwards. But at the moment, we're looking at about 14.
Oh, right.
Okay. We'll definitely try and iron out these technical issues for next.
Oh, yeah, that'll be sorted for next time. Yeah.
Usually these videos ultimately accumulate about sort of 300 views, I think.
Okay.
But it grows over the time. So what I'd like to do now, just to map out what we're going to do over the remaining time, I'd like to give a little bit of an insight into the next clip that's going to be in the library, which will be available today. In fact, it's already available. and then speak a little bit about that, and then we'll do this kind of reveal thing that we were speaking about. We'll try to keep that quite brief, but it's really important and useful and interesting, I think. And then we'll have the prize giveaway from Fracture Sounds. So here's a quick preview of the new clip that we are making available today. Okay, so that's a special clip that we've done for Halloween, which is available now in our library. Let me just see if I refresh that, you'll be able to see that it's now available. It's free for members, of course, as always. And we're doing a special promotional price for non-members for the month of October. We're releasing it now so that you can get it rescored in good time for Halloween itself. And then we'll be doing this equivalent of this session the day after Halloween, so on the 1st of November, unless anything changes. But yeah, there it is. We think it's a really cool little horror clip. As usual, there is a form for you to submit your rescores, as usual, and we would encourage you to do that at least 24 hours before the live stream, so that Brian and Stefan have got the opportunity to listen to those. You usually listen the day before, don't you? I think
yeah, on a Thursday. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So this kind of reveal that we keep talking about is basically that this Perfection by Design clip was a fascinating discovery for me, really, in terms of the fact that we try to, every time we do a clip, we try to bring something different to the library, something new. And we hadn't really done anything dystopian in the library, and we hadn't done anything that was a little bit dark in quite this way. So when we created it, we had this, we thought, brilliant idea that this was going to be a kind of subversive, unsettling, dystopian, dark, Black Mirror, if people are familiar with that type of thing. A comment on this kind of the futility of pursuing perfection, and then the sort of horror, if you like, of AI coming into that kind of thing, and the voices and all the images, really, or many of them that we used, were all supposed to be suggesting that. And of course, we used the word dystopian quite prominently in the library when we posted it, and in all the social media posts and everything. But I felt when I listened to the rescores, for the most part, that either that had been missed, or you'd chosen to ignore it because you wanted to do a cosmetics commercial, which is absolutely fine, of course. These are for you to do with whatever you want. But I was really curious as to whether people had missed that, or whether they tried to do it and it just didn't come across to me as the creator, or what. And Brian and Stefan, you said that you also kind of, when you saw the clip, it wasn't obvious to you, really, that it was kind of supposed to be.
Well, because and it tells you about the power of music, because when you listen to the submissions, you go, oh, people are doing commercials for makeup or whatever. Do you know what I mean? It's like, that's the power of, and then you go, well, that's what it's about. And I because I didn't see the brief that said dystopian. Then as you said it, I was like, when we were talking earlier today, I was like, oh God, yeah, I'm completely. But it was Dallas's, when Dallas, but because Dallas had done it separate, a lot different to a lot everyone else had done it. I was like, then you were like, then it actually made sense to me.
It was closer to what we had in mind, but that's not to say that the others were in any sense, invalid or anything, because you can literally do what you want. So, as I said to you earlier, that you could take our dinosaurs clip and turn it into a horror, with the music. I mean, it's entirely up to you.
I mean, if that cosmetics commercial existed within a dystopian film, right, and that was literally a 1-minute bit where there were some characters watching that commercial thing, then you'd have that dreamy, jazzy music that we heard on the clips, and underneath it, you might have an entirely separate underscore of creepy music. So in actual fact, what all the people wrote today, they all worked. It's just that Dallas's was on the nose.
Yeah.
I mean, Dallas's was literally dystopian, whereas the other people were basically not ignoring that, but they were doing it as that would have been watched in 100 years' time.
Yeah.
You know, if you can see what I mean.
But it's as I say, it's the power of music to picture that takes you down these roads, but then it makes you go as well. Goes back to what I've been discussing all night about the client. It's like, because you've got to work to quite often a brief, and you might come up with a vision, and then you present it, and the client goes, "No, you've gone completely down the wrong road there." So
yeah, I mean, this is the thing. Yeah, sorry, go on.
Sorry, I was going to say, like Steph said, the power of music and the way that the context of something can flip in an instant. I mean, I'll never forget the first time I ever played the intro to the film The Shining to students, and most students, were obviously young. I don't think many had actually seen The Shining, so I just played this lovely piece of country pastoral music. I think I played the theme tune to Emmerdale Farm, and everyone was like, "Yeah." And I said, "So if you saw that, what are you thinking? You're thinking about a day out, like a journey in the Canadian Rockies." And then we put the actual proper music on.
Check this out,
and it just makes you feel paranoid and insecure, and it changes what the picture is, although the picture hasn't changed. And that's just the power of filmmaking, I would suggest, and the power of music,
So there's the difference between, to go back to Sally's, where it was so kind of upbeat and positive, and it was like it changed the whole dynamic of it in a really good way. So you come out feeling quite positive about that, and then you've got the whole other approach where you say this is a dystopian nightmare. It could be like a commercial in a Blade Runner film or something.
That's exactly right. If you imagine a Blade Runner type film, and you see these adverts they have, wanting to appeal to the people that are looking at them, and how putrid they are, and how kind of manipulative they are, and how kind of Muzaki the music is. But that's exactly how it would be. Exactly how it would be.
Really interesting.
So I was only half joking about Elon Musk, being the client, but
that is a dystopian nightmare.
If the idea of having your appearance defined by AI and robots is appealing, then very positive music would fit nicely, I think. But it leads us to the general point about the QTube library and these sessions, and the composers themselves all having different sort of purposes for using the library, I suppose, and things that they want to experiment with, and that's brilliant. That's exactly what we want.
Well, that's what I was. Sorry to interrupt, Brad. Just briefly, it's just because I say this to our students, which is the same for your subscribers and stuff, is that when they take these clips and use them, it's their vision, so they become the filmmakers. The composers become the filmmakers. And that's really important, because they're part of that process, so they are contributing to the aesthetic of the film. So in a way, they are making those directorial decisions about how it should be. So they are to me they are the filmmakers, and that's been really evident in the work tonight.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So what we're going to do from now on, and again, I just want to emphasize that everybody's completely at liberty to do whatever they want with our clips. We're not in any sense saying you must meet this brief. Not at all. The brief is completely optional, but it's quite useful sometimes to practice work into a brief, I think. But in order to give you complete freedom and flexibility, what we're going to do from now on is, in the form that we've created for submitting for these live review sessions, we've actually added another field where you can give us a little, please keep it short, description of your intention, so that when Brian and Stefan are listening, they can sort of evaluate the work, the piece of music, against what your intention was. So, you know, if you say that I wanted to make this unsettling, then they can listen to it and kind of evaluate whether it is actually unsettling or whether there's something you could do to make it perhaps a little bit more unsettling and so on. So rather than Brian and Stefan kind of working blind and trying to guess really what you were trying to achieve, I think that's going to help everybody. Yeah, I think that should be quite
definitely.
good.
I mean, if any of you have written production music or library music, then you probably know that, you know, when you compose it, you normally have to put a little sentence or a small sentence describing very, very briefly what you've done. And it will say, you know, fast moving, fast pulse piece, blah, blah, blah. And it's designed for this market or this kind of TV. And that's often how people find it online. And that's the kind of thing we want, really. Just like, you know, what you intended. And that's really interesting for us, you know, to figure out whether you've done that and to what degree you've done that.
I think it makes the whole thing much more useful because it's film music at the end of the day, and it's trying to do a job, isn't it? It's not just entertaining. It's not
it's functional.
Yeah. So this takes it. I think this really does make these sessions. I think this is, the more I think about it, I think we've hit on something here which is really going to make these sessions a lot more useful. So we're going to start out with this Halloween clip that we are releasing today. So there's the extra little field, just 1 or 2 sentences. Let us know what you were trying to achieve or what you were experimenting with. Perhaps it's the first time you've done, you know, a string arrangement and you'd like some comments on that. That will help us to give more meaningful feedback, I think. So.
And just to really chip in on that, like Brian said, the reason you're doing that is to let us know what you meant. But also, it's that central thing that all music for the moving image, all film music, almost without precedent, has to be functional. The only reason it's there is it's providing a function. It isn't just there because somebody likes it. It's there because it's doing a job of work. And so when you think about what you've written and what you wanted to do and what instruments you use and stuff like that, what will be guiding you in that is my aim to this was to try and make the music do X. In your head, that's what you'll be doing. You'll be working out what exactly the music is doing. You know, what's its purpose. And when you've worked out what its purpose is in the film, you'll then maybe look at your music in a different way and think, well, does it achieve that purpose, or did I just write that because I like writing in that style? You know, because don't forget, film composers ultimately have to be what we call chameleons. They have to be able to exist in several different stylistic genres. Most film score writers are like that. They can tackle jazz, they can tackle electronic, they can tackle most things. So just bear that in mind, that, you know, if you get offered a gig from a director, it might be doing something completely out of your comfort zone. So the answer to that is to get used to different comfort zones. You know, try new things. Try new things, and if you get it wrong, try again. You know?
Yeah. I mean, there's absolutely nothing. You know, I would. It's another thing that came out during the conversation today, actually, is that me personally, like the way that I would like to think about the way that people use the library is almost to encourage you to get things wrong.
Absolutely.
This is a safe space where you can push yourself way out of your comfort zone, experiment with something, and take some risks. You're not doing it for a client, but you're getting professional feedback. So let's hear your failures.
Absolutely.
I think it's so important because it's about the process anyway. It's always about the process and the journey, and so learning along the way and each time you try these out, you're a better composer by the end of it. So absolutely, and I think one of the points that I've sort of picked up as well is about creative control as well, because there are no boundaries with these sessions. You know, you go for it, and that's, well, obviously once you get into doing this in the real world, that becomes a lot more difficult. So it's good now to try, whilst you have got full creative control, to put your stamp on things, to see where your sort of skills lie, really.
I mean, like the guys have said, you know, it sounds weird, but failing is a really important part of musical progression. I mean, You know, I mean, when I first started out, and I wanted to be an arranger and an orchestrator, which I eventually became. But when I was like 15 and 14 and 15, I was writing my first arrangements, and I could read music and I just scored it all out. But I didn't know about a thing called transposition, which is where the different instruments exist in different keys depending on how they're tuned and how they're pitched. And I wrote everything in the same key. And I took it to this band, and they just started, and it was like a premonition of hell. I mean, it was just, if you can imagine 5 different keys existing at the same time.
Yeah.
And I just went home that night and thought, right, I'm never ever going to do that again.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
of course, nowadays you got Sibelius, so nobody makes those mistakes anymore. But you know,
yeah. No,
failing is it's an important thing to do, honestly. But you know, fail while you're not well known, and then by the time you get well known, you won't fail anymore.
Yeah, and this is a great place to fail. You know, you've got really good quality materials to work with. You've got great feedback. But everyone in the community here in the chat is just wonderful. Everyone's so supportive and positive. So yeah, go for it. You know, let's hear you take some risks with this Halloween clip. Come on, let me hear your risks. That's
I'm
what I
looking
want.
forward to that one. Actually, that'll be great. The Halloween one.
In a month's time, I want you to scare me. I want you to shock me. All right. So,
did you need to do your giveaway thing? Was that
yeah, we're going to do that now. So, we're really grateful to Fracture Sounds, who've been supporting this now for a few months, and with these free libraries, and they've just recently released a new library, and I believe it's their first legato library. I don't know, Brian and Stefan, if you're very familiar with Fracture Sounds, but they're just down the road from you, and they're doing some really wonderful stuff. So I'm going to play a little 1-minute promo that they've sent over just for that before we do the giveaway. So that's their newest library. I would encourage you to head over to their website and take a look at what they do. They've got some free instruments, as many of these companies do these days, and yeah, definitely well worth a look. I know that Archie's a big fan of their libraries, their instruments. So that brings us to our Wheel of Fortune game that we play every month. So there's everybody's names on the wheel. Good luck, everyone. I'll be in touch with whoever wins, and you'll have a degree of choice about which of the libraries from Fracture you would like, which would be most useful for you, which I think is really nice of them to do that, to give you the choice. So I shall spin the wheel now.
We need some music, really, don't we?
We do, don't we? Brian, can you?
Brian. Go for it.
And there we are. It's Killian's lucky day.
Wow, Killian. So he's had a review on the...
He's had a review and he's won a prize. Killian, I hope you're feeling happy. I'm feeling happy for you. So that's fantastic. So I'll reach out to you, Killian, and we'll have a discussion about which library you would like, and then I'll put you in touch with Fracture and they'll organise that for you. But I know that the people who've won the previous libraries are absolutely delighted with what they've got. So, Brian, have you had a play with any of the Fracture libraries?
I haven't, but I think now you've talked about it, I think I'll look into that, definitely.
Yeah, it's worth looking at. I mean, you know, I might be able to sort something out for you.
Well, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah. And indeed, Stefan, I don't know whether you play with this type of thing very much, but
Well, yeah,
you know.
well, no, I'd definitely like to hear the samples and stuff and sounds that we've got.
Cool.
Well,
Well,
I mean, the great thing about this is obviously the sounds, and then trying to make them work over Zoom and make them sound decent over
Yeah.
Zoom. I mean, when you said that, this is a great place to fail. I couldn't help but think, yeah, that's what we did at the beginning.
we've illustrated it.
We're definitely
Yeah.
learning.
I've
yeah.
got like thousands of pounds worth of gear here, studio, and thousands of pounds worth of sample libraries.
Well, I was
And then
also
at the end of the day, it comes over Zoom like a
Like a broken tape recorder
yeah,
from the
yeah.
and also when you mentioned about having a sort of Halloween nightmare, I think we've had our Halloween
Absolutely,
nightmare
yeah.
this already.
Yeah.
Anyway.
This can only go one way. It can only go up. So
Apologies for the technical issues. We'll sort it out.
I think we had a really good session anyway. Thank you guys so much for that. Thank you for your time and expertise. Thanks to everybody that tuned in. And enjoy the Halloween clip. Let me know what you think. You know, people, I'd love to hear from people that are using these clips. We get hundreds of people downloading these clips. So I would really love to get some feedback on what you think about it. And of course, I'm looking forward to hearing those rescores. So we'll reconvene in a month's time.